What happens to the dreams that people throw away? This is the story of a school janitor who quietly collected lost dreams. Every day, hundreds of feet ran past him. To most people, he was just the janitor. He was a familiar, yet unseen, part of the background. Students would rush to class, their minds filled with exams, friendships, and the future. Teachers would hurry to their next lesson, carrying stacks of papers and their own worries. He swept the floors, making sure they were clean for the next day's rush. He emptied the bins, getting rid of the day's forgotten wrappers and notes. He fixed the small things that broke a squeaky door hinge, a loose chair leg, a flickering light. His work was simple, repetitive, and almost completely invisible to the bustling life of the school. He was the silent guardian of the building, a ghost in the hallways who knew every crack in the tile and every echo in the empty corridors. But at night, when the building was silent, he found something strange in the bins. The sounds of laughter and hurried footsteps were replaced by the gentle hum of the building's heating and the soft swish of his broom. As he went from classroom to classroom, emptying the trash, he started to notice patterns. These weren't just scraps of paper. They were pieces of people's hearts. He found a crumpled drawing of a magnificent comic book hero, its colors still vibrant despite being balled up in frustration. He unfolded a page filled with song lyrics, the words telling a story of love and loss, now abandoned. He even found a university brochure, a gateway to a bright future, torn perfectly in half. These were dreams, not made of gold or diamonds. They were made of paper and pain. Each discarded piece told a story of a hope that had been given up, a passion that was deemed not good enough, a future that felt too far out of reach. Instead of throwing them away, he kept them. In a small, dusty room where he kept his cleaning supplies and tools, he had a simple cardboard box tucked away under a shelf. This box became a sanctuary. Into it went the sketches of impossible worlds, the first chapters of unfinished stories, the wild science ideas jotted down on napkins, and the letters to a future self that would never be sent. With gentle hands, he would carefully smooth out the folded pages, trying to erase the creases of doubt. He would stack them neatly, giving them a home they had been denied. He didn't know the names of all the students who walked these halls. He couldn't match every face to every forgotten project. But he knew their dreams. He knew the aspiring artist who gave up, the musician who lost their confidence, and the future scientist who was told their ideas were foolish. His little box held a silent library of what could have been. One night, he found a student who was about to throw away another dream. The school was nearly empty, but in one of the classrooms, a single light was on. A student sat slumped over a desk, surrounded by open books, their head resting in their hands. The janitor had seen this look before, the heavy weight of exhaustion and defeat. Lying near the trash bin was a college application form with the words, "Never mind," scrawled angrily across the top. The janitor paused his work and quietly approached. "Tough day?" he asked, his voice soft. The student just shrugged, not lifting their head, their eyes red from crying. After a moment of silence, the student finally spoke, their voice barely a whisper. "People like me don't make it. It's stupid to even try." The words hung in the air, another dream on the verge of being discarded forever. The janitor thought for a moment, then gestured for the student to follow him. He led them away from the bright classroom and down the quiet, dimly lit hallway to his small supply room. He knelt down, pulled out the worn cardboard box from under the shelf, and opened it. He showed the student the years of lost dreams he had collected. "These belonged to people who thought they weren't enough either," he said, his voice full of a gentle wisdom. The students' eyes widened in surprise as they looked through the contents of the box. They saw incredible drawings, heartfelt poems, and ambitious plans. They were surrounded by the secret hopes of hundreds of others who had walked these same halls and felt the same crushing doubt. The janitor continued. "Some of them came back for their dreams. Some didn't. But I decided one thing a long time ago. I will not throw dreams away. Not even yours." The students' hands shook as they reached into the box and pulled out their own application form. They looked at the angry words they had written, "Never mind," for a long moment. They just held the paper, the weight of their own defeated hopes and the shared hopes of others in their hands. Then, with a newfound determination, they found a pen. They carefully crossed out, "Never mind," and underneath it, they wrote 5 new words, "I will try anyway." In that moment, nothing in the outside world changed. But inside, something small and bright that had nearly gone out woke up again. A single choice, a flicker of renewed hope, had changed everything. The dream wasn't safe in the box anymore. It was alive again, back in the hands of the dreamer. Years passed. The janitor continued his quiet work, sweeping the same floors, emptying the same bins. One day, a special event was happening at the school. A successful young adult, a former student, had returned to give an inspirational talk to the current students. As they walked down the familiar hall, confident and smiling, their eyes met the janitor's. No words were needed. Just a quick, silent exchange of smiles passed between them, a shared secret, a moment of deep gratitude. Most people in the hallway still saw just the janitor, the man who cleaned up their messes. But he knew the truth, and so did the speaker. His hands didn't just clean floors. They protected hope. Your purpose might be hidden inside small, quiet work. If you ever feel like your job or your role in life is small and unseen, remember the janitor. You never know how a simple act of care, a quiet word of encouragement, or a refusal to let hope be thrown away can deeply and profoundly change a life. Your impact is often bigger than you realize. This is Learn English with Stories, and your purpose is bigger than it looks.